Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm just so proud of these young women in our program. They work so hard every day, and for them to be able to come on the floor and compete today, and they really gave their all and gave their heart. And I'm so glad that we came up in the end, that we came up victorious. And it just speaks so much about this team. I think if there's one characteristic that this team has, is it's their teamwork. It's the way they play together. It's the way that they believe in each other. We knew coming into this game that it would not be an easy game. Florida is a very good team, and they're well coached. And we knew that it was going to be a game where they were going to go on runs and we were going to go on runs. And I'm so proud of that togetherness that our team had throughout the game. You can look at the stat sheet, you can see all the big numbers, and it's so exciting. But the one thing that this team has is that they have a connection unlike any other. And when you have that connection and you couple that with the toughness and the grit that this team has, it's amazing what they can do. And I'm so proud of all of them for that.
Coach, the other night you're down 8, fourth period comeback. Did that maybe help in this situation? First you and then Tamara.
Yeah, certainly. The experiences that you get and the experiences you get throughout the season, I think all of those lead to you being more comfortable in those situations in future times when you're put in those situations. And I was really proud of our team, with the comeback win that we had against Central Arkansas. And I do believe that being able to be in that situation before has put you in a situation where you're more comfortable, you know what to do, and you know how to do it really well.
Tamara, how about you?
I mean, yeah, it definitely helps to, go through the last game. I mean, it, like she said, it just helps. It makes us comfortable, and I felt in the last game we handled it very well, and that kind of transferred on tonight. We didn't kind of lose our heads. We kind of just stayed focused throughout all of it and just tried to play together through all of it. Thanks.
Any questions?
Okay. Coach, you talked about you knew that this was going to be a tough matchup coming in. What were some of the maybe metrics or parts of the game that you talked about as a team, and how do you think you were able to execute today?
Yeah, well, strategically, we knew that our transition D would be huge, and we knew that rebounding would be big. Those are probably the two things on the defensive end of the floor that we tried to really focus on. I cannot say enough about this team and their rebounding there in the fourth quarter. I know early we let a few get away, and then there in the third quarter we let a few rebounds get away, but at the end of the game, when we needed to have those stops and we needed to rebound, they did it. They came through and they did such a great job. I think Hadley Perriman had 14 rebounds, which was amazing, right? But it was really, it was all those focuses during the defensive possessions of doing exactly what we knew we needed to do to come away successful that they did.
And Tamara, for you, how did it feel being out there, particularly in that fourth quarter, keeping them, less than 20% efficiency and being able to close out the game, knowing it was so tight?
It felt really good. I mean, it felt good to know, my team can be able to handle situations like this, and, to see them and all of us locked in like that, it's a lot of growth from, a couple games ago, and it's just, yeah.
And it seemed for both of you, if you would, maybe Tamara, we could start with you, but it seemed like the ball was moving a lot this afternoon. How does that compare to maybe, as you said, a few games ago and how you want to play?
Yeah, I mean, we know we're a really fast team, so, transition is our, friend. We score a lot in transition, and that's what we look to do the most. So when we get the ball moving like that, it really just helps with our confidence, and it just helps with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and Coach, I want to just add to the question, because it seemed like even in the half court that the ball was not getting stuck very often, and that you were able to kind of execute even late into the shot clock.
We were, this team is a very versatile team. They all have the ability, when all the players on our team have the ability to do multiple things on the offensive end of the floor. And I think they have a great trust in one another to be able to have confidence in the next person. A lot of times, Delaney and Tamara are just amazing at being able to find the right people at the right times. And sometimes you see us turning down good shots for great shots. And that's something that our team really believes in. And I thought we demonstrated that today.
Yeah, Coach, expand on that. I mean, 16 assists for 24 field goals is pretty impressive. But you go down the list, and it's one player has 2, one player has 3, another player has 2. I mean, just what about that? I guess you always preach about it, the team, and
Yeah.
you share the ball, but just expand a little bit more on that.
Well, one, we have great chemistry. You know, even in practices, when you're in our practices, you see the way that they share the ball with one another. They have great chemistry, and they know where each other are, and they tend to talk a lot and find each other. And I think that's part of what makes our team really special. I don't think you find that on very many teams, and we have that all across the board. We play a system where the ball's in a lot of different people's hands at different times, right? And I think when you count on each other to make the right decisions at the right time, and you saw that today, whenever you come through in those situations with those decisions, it equals success for a team. And so that's one thing when you play fast, like we play fast, right? We have a high tempo and a high style of play. You've got to be able to balance that the assists with the turnovers, and having that positive assist to turnover ratio today was huge.
All your starters tonight, they were with you last season as well, I guess, for both of you. Like, how does that chemistry, like, how does it relate to your chemistry?
Yeah, I mean, it's like all of 5 of us on the floor at the one time. I mean, it just helps. I mean, like, we're all comfortable with each other, but it also just, like, helps with the younger people coming in, like, them being able to come on the floor with, 4 returners. It just makes them feel more comfortable. So if they do mess up, we can help them. We're able to help them and, tell them what to do next. So
There's definitely that chemistry, right? So that experience that they go through together as freshmen, as sophomores, and just having that camaraderie together is huge. But I do think, building on what T said, is, we have really good leaders in our program. And so a lot of times when you come to a practice or when you see a game, you maybe don't know the difference in returners and newcomers and veterans and starters and non-starters and all of those things, because they really do a good job of helping each other. And it's a fun team. It's a fun journey, and they really do enjoy each other both on and off the floor, and that helps. You see that connection on the floor.
And then just specific player, Katia Gallego, she seems to be really important. Can you just kind of speak to what she adds to the team?
Yeah, we are so excited about Katia and the year that she's having. She worked really, really hard in the off season, coming from last year into this year. She got to play with her national team for a couple weeks in July, and she was able to work out with us over the summer. And she is in the gym all the time working on her game. And so we're so excited about the success that she's having. But we also know how critical she is to our team and our team's success. She pushes the ball up tempo for us. She has great passes, right? Defensively, she's the eyes a lot for us, and she's calling out the other team's plays. And so she's huge. And even though she may not be one of the ones that's always listed in the top scorers, you can't underestimate what Katia does for our team.
Coach, I think you talked earlier in the week about rebounding, and it seemed like from the get-go that was something on your team's mind, because the offensive boards, even though you put back maybe didn't go, but kept on battling for it. Just how important was that to get out to that early start and show, hey, we're going to rebound with them?
Yeah, it's funny. You think back to the first few possessions, and those rebounds were not easy, and that really set the tone for the game. And it would have been an easy moment for us to maybe say, okay, well, they may be a little bigger in size, but that is not our team. Our team looks at that, sees it as a challenge, and they didn't just get them. They fiercely went after the rebounds, and that shows the mentality and the mindset that you have to have, and that's part of that grit and toughness that our team has. I mean, you look at how many times we're diving on the floor, right? You look at how many times we're ripping the ball away from the opponents, or we're blocking a shot, or we're hitting on rebounds, and that the rebounding component is something you're able to tangibly see with the numbers of what we got. But if you watch the game, it's all those intangibles of the fierce and the toughness that it took to get them.
Anything else?
Yes, please. Tamara, I wanted to ask you a little bit about just having a ceremony to officially celebrate at home you being able to hit the 1,000-point mark.
It's an honor. I mean, it's a blessing. I'm just happy that I'm able to play here with this team, and for Coach Angie. And at the end of the day, like, I wouldn't be here without my teammates. They put the confidence in me, and they passed the ball to me. They put me in the positions to do this. So at the end of the day, it's a team effort.
Thank you so much. And then finally, for both of you, you get this win, feel-good win, and then you go down the handshake line, and there's a 2022 WNBA Rookie of the Year there. When you see the more collaboration between the WNBA and the NCAA game, how do you think that can help to just continue to elevate women's basketball to new heights?
I think it's a great partnership, between the WNBA and collegiate athletics, and I think it's always great to have those role models. In our own program, we have a graduate assistant who is drafted and has that experience and can bring that experience into our team. I think that partnership is more important than ever. I mean, we're both on the stage of promoting women's basketball and being able to continue to push women's athletics and women's sports forward, and we're so glad that we have, WNBA players that want to come and more than just the platform, it's how they give back, right? Like I know Kalia Lawrence on our staff pours into these young women every single day. So it's about more than the game, and I love that that's what the WNBA and that's definitely what our program stands for, is more than just basketball.